Hello, I am Jyotika. Welcome to Excelling Psychology. In today's class, we will go over Paper 1, Section C, the essay question 15 marker for both SL and HL psychology students. I will take you through a full model answer, explaining to you how that answer has been written, how it meets the top mark band requirements in the latest IB mark scheme. This is not my first lesson on the 1C question. I have covered one lesson before this also, in which I had taken up the question in the specimen paper. That was from the context of human development, and the content was theory of mind. We had looked at the Saliani task. So, if you need one more lesson on how to write that essay answer, you can watch that video as well. Today, I have come up with an entirely new question which is not from the specimen paper. As you know, any permutation can be done to develop a question for 1C. So I have made a question right from scratch in which I have taken a different context and content. So I have taken the context of learning and cognition, and the content I have taken is schema theory. So, with a different model answer today to a different question, we will review once again how to answer question 1C in a way that we can get full marks according to mark scheme requirements. With this, I am launching my essay pack for paper 1 section C, in which you will get 10 practice questions with their corresponding model answers. Across these questions, I have covered the 6 concepts: perspective, bias, responsibility, change, causality, and measurement. I have covered all the 4 contexts from learning and cognition to mental health, and various content topics are covered across these 10 essays. So, in case you're interested in purchasing this essay pack, you will find the store link for this essay pack and similar essay pack and practice sets in the description box and pinned comment below. I am also a private tutor for IB psychology, SL and HL. I help with extended essay and IA also in psychology. So if you're looking for help, I have more than 12 years of experience at this point. You can contact me. In the description box and pinned comment, my contact details are there. So from this essay pack that I am releasing now, we'll take up the first question and answer and review in today's video how we should be answering section 1C. I will not be reading out the whole model answer word to word. I'm trying to make this a quick lesson without compromising on the quality of the lesson. So in case you need to read this answer, you can take a screenshot of this screen and the next one, or you can pause the video at any time and read what is written on the screen. So first, beginning with, write what we should address at the beginning: how to read the question carefully before writing the answer. That is a skill by itself. First thing we should note in the question is what is the context from which the question has come, what is the content which they are asking us about, and what is the concept that we need to apply. We should be very clear about these 3 things before writing the answer. Context is directly named learning and cognition. Content is schema theory. At this point, when we are practicing answers for 1C, we should have already covered our SAQs and context questions. So we should be able to recognize that schema theory is content by itself. And the concept, we know there are 6. Out of those, we can see measurement has been named here. So context, schema theory being content, and measurement being the concept. Now, before writing the answer, we need to prepare in our mind what points we are going to elaborate upon. Meaning that we should not directly start writing the essay. First, in our mind, we should review the structure that we are going to follow and which points we are going to take to discuss measurement. Only then we should start writing. So, on the answer paper itself with pencil on a back page, you can draw an outline, or in your mind, you can just do it mentally before beginning. It does not take much time to do this type of practice. In the paper, you can aim to write this answer in 25 to 30 minutes. I would suggest not taking more than 25 minutes for this. Keep some time for revision also. So hardly 1 or 2 minutes you will have to give in planning. Then remaining time you can give for actually writing. And that 1 or 2 minutes will be well worth it because it'll make it easy for you to cover the answer instead of having to come back, scratch out things, write everything again, for which you won't get time if you don't plan. What is the basic structure of writing the 15 marker? Let's review that. If you've seen my previous lesson, you know already, but I would like you to remember that. I would like you to remind you of it. You have to cover knowledge. You're going to get marks for knowledge. You can check in the mark scheme. And you have to cover evaluation, critical thinking. These are the two broad things for what you're going to get marks. So first, broadly, you should think what is the knowledge I will have to cover in this and what is the critical thinking. And then you can make an outline for each. Knowledge is going to be about broadly what is learning and cognition, what schema theory is, and an example of schema theory, which is typically a study. In my previous lessons also I have explained for examples, do take studies. Though it is not made compulsory by the IB, but knowing a research study, at least one study under each content topic, is the best way of going about writing SAQs and DRQs. So in your mind, you can think of under the knowledge, which study am I going to take for schema theory? Ideally, you should have prepared one study. Okay, then after that, for critical thinking, you know, for measurement, you will have to give points. As I have recommended previously, 4 points you should think about in measurement, preferably two strengths, two weaknesses. So, two good things about measurement and two limitations or two controversial areas in measurement when it comes to this theory. So, what is the structure broadly of the answer? Like now, to fine tune the structure more broadly, we saw it's knowledge and critical thinking. Within knowledge, the content topic area that you have to cover, and with after that an example, which I would say should be a research study in the area. Under critical thinking, what do you need? 4 points, preferably two strengths, two weaknesses of the concept that has been given. If instead of measurement, say it was responsibility or bias or any other, same way, two strengths, two weaknesses. Now, a little more detailed outline before you actually begin writing. So, in the topic area schema theory, what is the key terminology? Like I've explained in my SAQ lessons also, terminology is given good weightage in mark schemes. So, which concepts will you have to clarify in schema theory? Of course, first the definition of schema theory itself. What is schema theory? And schema, what it is. Before you can even explain what is schema theory, you need a definition of schema. So that's another concept that you will have to explain. What is measurement? What are the concerns relating to measurement when it comes to schema theory? See, no doubt we have to explain general concepts, but we should not be unfocused also. When it comes to measurement, so many theories are there in psychology. Each one has its own measurement issues. So we can't just keep on rambling about what general measurement issues are. When it comes to schema theory in particular, what are the measurement issues? We'll have to outline that. And we will have to give a summary of the study we are selecting. I have selected Brewer and Trends. It's the most popular one. Also, more or less, I have a tendency to follow the textbook, the Oxford textbook, because again, it has the most popular outreach. And personally, I respect that textbook a lot. Right from the previous syllabus, I think it has the best content. But of course, you can take studies from anywhere. Any textbook, any credible online notes that you have come across, many studies are there under schema theory. You can have War of the Ghosts also, that is very popular. You can have Bransford and Johnson studies. I can't remember the exact researchers' names from A. You can have their studies also. Absolutely. I've just taken Brewers and Trends. So no matter which study you have taken, aim, procedure, results, conclusion. This is the summary that you have to give. So under the broad outline which we have of knowledge, what is the specifics of what we have to give in the outline? Meaning of schema, schema theory, measurement as it relates to schema theory, preferably to remain focused in the answer, and a summary of Brewer and trends in the standard format, which is aim, procedure, results, conclusion. This will give us full marks for knowledge as per the mark scheme. It's a 15 marks question. They have not specifically fixed how many marks for knowledge and how much for critical thinking. But in the mark scheme requirements, there's a distinct section where they say knowledge, terminology, details should be there. There we will get full marks by covering these points. Now coming to the key critical thinking point, which is measurement. In that, what can we cover? We are taking Brewer and trends. It's a lab experiment. So issues around lab experiments, issues around how schemas are not directly observable, so indirectly they have to be measured. Those will make for our points. So broadly we can think of this. Then we can finalize the 4 points we have to give. Instead of writing, I'll just show you in the answer. It's on the next page. For example, you can see one strength is how lab experiments are reliable when it comes to measurement of schema theory. Again, in general, for measurement, there are many points we can give, good and bad things of measurement in psychology. We should remain focused on schema theory for now. Answers should be focused. That is also important from mark scheme point of view. Next, a limitation, like I was telling you, schemas cannot be directly observed. They are mental constructs. So one point can be around that. Yet another limitation of measurement, because lab experiments are, their strength can be reliability, but weakness will be ecological validity. Another strength as such of experiments is that they give us useful insights. We are able to manipulate different things and see how that affects schemas. So 2 strengths, 2 weaknesses. Okay, so I was not intending to write, but just to note down quickly. So within critical thinking, what can be our points? 2 strengths are around the lab experiments reliability, lab experiments capability of manipulation or testing different hypotheses. These are good for measurement. Limitations are around unobservability, lack of direct observation of schemas, and lack of ecological validity because of use of lab experiments. So once we have this outline completed, then only we should start writing the answer. Word count 600 to 800 words is ideal, though there's no official declaration from IB at the time that I'm making this video. But considering that it is 15 marks, 6 to 800 words tends to be ideal. In my essay packs, sometimes it can go above 800 words. Typically, it is 800 words. On the higher side, it can go more than that. The intention is always that if we give short answers to begin with as model answers, students tend to condense even further, because students are not going to memorize and write these answers. They're going to learn and then they're going to put it in their own words, and students' tendency is to write with brevity rather than expanding more. So if to begin with only I give 600 word answers, they're going to shorten it even further. So 800 or little over 800 is ideal for practice purposes. But when you're writing in the paper, practice in a way that if you have a tendency to expand more, it comes down to 800 maximum. Also, of course, I have not mentioned a conclusion has to be there, an essay outline has to be there. That's something you don't have to plan for. That's just the structure you have to follow while writing. Okay, so this detailed outline should be clear in your mind before you start writing answer. You might feel it's very lengthy the way I've presented it now. But when you prepare it on the paper or when you think of it in your mind, like I told you, it hardly takes 1 or 2 minutes. Because first, you're not going to be doing it first time in the paper. You're going to be practicing throughout the year. Second, I have to explain to you. So it takes me a lot of time to explain. When you're doing it, you're just going to write it straight off or just think of it straight off. Next, before writing the answer, you just have to remember the structure. By the time you go to write in the paper, it will come automatically to you. But I'll just explain it to you once. Your first paragraph should be about key concepts explanation, what we say terminology explanation, which we saw just now. Next paragraph can be about outline. These are the arguments, those 4 arguments that are going to be made in the essay. Next can be about a summary of the study, aim, procedure, results, conclusion of Brewer and trends. Next, 1 paragraph dedicated to each of the 4 points that you're going to take for the concept for measurement. And finally, a conclusion which will include the summary and future research directions, suggested directions for how future research can overcome the problems which are there in current research. This is the structure I will be showing to you as we go through the model answer also. So if right now you've just got a gist of it, that is fine. It is not a hard structure. It's not the only structure possible, but it's the one which works best with students because it's the most straightforward, most easy to understand, and very standardized, something that you can use across content and concepts. So it works well. And one thing which I always emphasize, the most important thing to scoring marks is when it comes to critical thinking. Students lose marks there. Knowledge, students are able to write very well. Many are good at memorizing, just by hearting what is there in the textbook. So up till the summary of the study, beautifully they can write. In critical thinking, all the goof ups happen. And frankly speaking, whether they say it explicitly or not, in essay questions, critical thinking is more valuable than description. Description is more valuable in essay. Why students lose marks in critical thinking? Because expansion of points is very poor. So before you begin only, you must remind yourself every evaluation critical thinking point must be written in Peel format. Today this is a quick lesson. I won't be able to explain fully what is Peel paragraph, why you should write it. You can see my previous lessons for that. But just as a quick reminder, Peel means for every critical point that you're giving, there should be a point. This is the strength or limitation of measurement. Evidence should be there. You should link it back to the specific study from where you're picking up that point. It should not be a generic point. It should be a contextualized point. Explanation should be there. Reasoning should be given as to why this is a strength or weakness. And very important, in IB it's emphasized a lot, link, conclusion. They have not asked you, for example, to evaluate Brewer and Trent study. They have asked you to evaluate schema theory. So every point that you give, in which you're giving an example of Brewer and Trent study, you have to link it back and show what it tells you about schema theory. So this Peel format, or simply context and reasoning, must be there in every critical thinking point to score marks. Right now, things can seem a little abstract. So again, we will revise all that I have explained to you now, all that you need to do for your ERQ with reference to the model answer. I want to remind you, I'm not going to be reading every word of the model answer. I will just reinforce to you how the structure which I just discussed has been followed and give you examples with the help of this answer. In case you need to read it fully, refer to screenshots so you can purchase the essay pack. Okay, so what did I tell you in the first paragraph? Key concepts have to be explained. You have to start from there. So you can see there is a definition of schema theory at the beginning. There is a definition of what is schema in the first place. There is a definition of how measurement applies to schema theory, in which both the things are mentioned, that they are not directly observable and typically lab experiments and memory tests have to be used to operationalize them and infer them through how people perform on tasks. So I had told you so measurement in schema theory should be given in the context of schema, not generally what measurement is. So that is how it has been explained here. After that, I told you an essay outline should be there. So this essay will refer to Brewer and Trent's, which study is going to come. That is made clear to the examiner. What arguments will be made, use of experimental methods, how schemas influence memory is studied in this Brewer and Trent, so that how it has been indirectly measured by researchers. But because lab experiments are used, ecological validity is not there, so it might be oversimplification. What arguments are going to be covered with relation to measurement? All that is explained in this paragraph, the essay outline paragraph. Next, a general introduction to the study is there, after which the study has been summarized in terms of aim, what participants had to do, procedure, results, what was found, and conclusion, what it shows us about the larger schema theory. So Brewer and Trent study, very popular. Anywhere you can find this summary, and you just have to put it out in this format: aim, procedure, results, conclusion. So what is there till here? This is for what we get marks on the knowledge criterion. And if it is presented in this way, I'll reiterate: definition of key terminology, details, example, with a proper summary, aim, procedure, results, conclusion, and an essay outline to orient the examiner into what is going to come in the essay. Full marks you will get on knowledge and details. Now I will take you through the critical thinking, measurement, how we can cover, and for 1 or 2 paragraphs I'll explain to you the PEEL format also again with application. See, we make a point first. When it comes to measurement in schema theory, lab experiments are used and they have reliability. Means I'm giving a point. I'm telling the examiner, see, this is the first issue I'm taking relating to measurement. How lab experiments help in reliable measurement of schema theory. But this is something I can say for any theory. Not only schema theory, lab experiments help me to reliably measure any theory in psychology. What is the evidence that they help me to reliably measure schema theory? That I give in E, evidence. In schema theory, a study like Brewer and Trends helps to standardize with schema consistent objects people are seeing, which inconsistent objects they are seeing, and then we can consistently measure across participants whether schemas are having an effect on what they recall or not. So this is evidence or specific example from the topic in consideration. Next, I have to explain E, why this is a strength. I'm saying this is a strength. I've given an example. Okay, but what is the strength in measurement because of this? Even this explanation has to be very contextualized. It should not be a generic explanation. The recall and recognition that we obtain from this study, that shows us exactly how schemas influence how much people remember and recognize. Like in an office, the schema consistent, typical office objects which are there, they remember very well. But the inconsistent ones, which are not the typical office objects, they tend to forget that. So it's a strength that we can come to know exactly what things they'll be able to remember because of schema and what things they won't be able to remember. But so far, what have we done in PEE? More or less, we have evaluated Brewer and Trends. What did they ask us in the question? Evaluate schema theory, not Brewer and Trends study. So very, very important is L, link. All this evaluation of Brewer and Trends, what does it tell us about schema theory ultimately? That often experiments are used in schema theories and they are very useful to study schemas which are not directly observable. They can give us a reliable measurement of such unobservable constructs also. So this is what one paragraph should look like under schema theory critical thinking. Same way, I won't repeat for all, but you can see a PEEL format is you can read the answer. Like where the point is about schemas cannot be directly observed. Again, specific example from Brewer and Trends. They could just see what objects people remember, did not remember. But in their mind, were they using schemas or not? That researchers could not investigate. Why this is a limitation? We can only assume that schemas were being used by the participants, but we have no concrete evidence. So definitely relating back to schema theory link, we are not very certain of the existence of schemas, which can make the theory itself lose credibility because the evidence that is available is not giving very solid evidence for existence of schemas. In the same way, 2 more paragraphs have been structured. Finally, a conclusion, like I told you, that is what you have to write. Conclusion has to be a summary of measurement. The key focus is measurement. So summarizing all the points we get to see, there is some very reliable, credible evidence that we are getting from lab experiments, but schema being unobservable by itself is making it very difficult to see how it exists in real life, if it exists at all. So future research recommendations, like always based on what limitations are there, we can say what future research should do. They need to go beyond lab experiments. Future researchers should combine lab experiments with more naturalistic methods because we saw problem is coming because of the artificiality of lab experiments. We are losing ecological validity. And also long-term observations, long-term studies need to be done to figure out whether in different situations and across time people make mistakes of consistency, inconsistency. That will give us assurance that really schemas influence recall or not. Just from one instance, we cannot assume that something that is unobservable must be existing. So this was a quick lesson, a quick revision of how to answer paper 1, section C questions. We saw it this time with a different context and content. Last time we had seen for the Sally Annie task, theory of mind. This time we have seen for learning and cognition. So I hope this has been useful to you. This is a second exemplar I've covered in my videos, and 10 such exemplars are available in this essay pack. Very soon I will be uploading another video which is going to be about paper 2 section B, because as much as this essay can be challenging, section B, paper 2 essays can be all the more challenging because an unknown study comes in that. So if you've liked this video, definitely watch that one, because in that one similar tips and strategies with the help of a model answer I will be showing. So I'll see you then. Goodbye.